Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to check today's video out. We're going to be talking about disrespect, guys, disrespectful bass anglers, and one specific topic I want to talk about. I think you guys might find this a little bit interesting, and as usual, I'll be curious to get your guys' opinion on that in today's video. Also, guys, before we get started, two quick things I want to remind you of. If you haven't had a chance, please swing by the description of my video and check out my Blaukat's Corner page with Tackle Warehouse. This is a monthly deal that I do with Tackle Warehouse. I give you guys what I consider the top lures for that month with a correlating video for each lure, how to fish it. So I'll put that link in the description. And also, I want to show you guys one of my favorite colors of jerkbaits for the month of November, December. This is that Megabass Stain Reaction. This is a really good color, guys, on low light conditions, cloudy days, rainy days, a little bit off colored water. I'll put my Megabass jerkbait link in the description if you guys would like to check one out there. Okay, guys, in terms of disrespectful, I want to talk a little bit about a segment of the bass anglers out there that seem very disrespectful to the fish in general. And a lot of this you see is like, Randy, you give bass too much credit. Bass are little pea-brain creatures. Bass are stupid. Bass are ignorant. I hear a lot of demeaning comments regarding bass. And I sort of want to stand up for the bass a little bit here. I want to come to their defense on this, because they are not any of those things. They are not pea-brained. They are not any less. They are not stupid. Bass have been here on this planet longer than humans have. The largemouth bass lineage, they found fossil remains dating over 3.5 million years, directly related to the Micropodus lineage of largemouth bass. And you don't survive as a species on this planet for over 3.5 million years by being stupid. It just doesn't happen. And another thing is that I see a lot of general disrespect for fish in terms of guys like jacking them over to the side of the boat and letting them hit the floor of the boat, and they're pumping their fish, like that, while this fish is just flopping all over the carpet and losing its slime coat. I see people throwing bass back out like they're some just thing, like some object. And guys, bass have every right to be on this planet as much as we do. We don't have any more right to be on this planet. We share this planet with them. And one of the things about being a good steward of this planet and being a good person in general is you respect the other creatures on this planet. You respect them because we're all in this together. We all have one planet we're living on, and it's part of the entire cycle of life and the entire rhythm of life that you have respect for other creatures that you be with. Now, another thing with that is, like, a lot of people think bass are stupid and they're pea-brained, and they're not. It's like bass learn quick and they fail quick, and once they do fail, they learn extremely quick not to repeat that mistake, because again, you don't survive that long as a species by making mistakes time after time after time again. You don't. And we see this evidence as far we see the innate natural intelligence of a bass in terms of how quickly they wise up to fishing pressure and how quickly they get conditioned to certain lures. I have witnessed this just in the short period of time, as far as the 50 years that I've been on this planet fishing for bass. I have seen this evolutionary process that the bass have developed just in 50 years. It's like, it hasn't taken them any time at all. When you talk about every species on this planet is in a constant evolutionary state to adapt to their environment. That's what we do. We are in the environment, and the challenges of that environment change all the time, and we evolve to adapt to those changes, whatever they may be. And bass do that almost instantly. The amount of innate intelligence they have to adapt to changing conditions is phenomenal in my mind. Now, let me give you guys one example here. You guys have heard me talk about this before, but I just want to reiterate for what a lot of you guys, you may have missed this. And a lot of you guys have been with the channel. You've heard me talk about this before, but if you haven't, I want to sort of tell you about this. Guys, this right here is called Hellbender, and you've heard me talk about this a lot if you're with your channel, but it's worth it to bear with me on this. This particular lure right here used to be deadly 50 years ago. I'm talking about, it was probably the #1 big bass lure that you could throw. You could go down to any of the lakes here in my part of the country, and if you did not catch a 7 or 8 pound bass on this thing, during like, certain times of the year. It was an exception to the rule. I can promise you guys, if you went out and threw this right now, you could probably fish it for 6 months and never catch a fish on it. And why is that? Why is it 50 years ago that the bass, tore the paint off this thing and they don't now? Because everybody always says, oh, there's more bass in the lake than we've ever been. Okay, well, fine. If there's more bass in the lake, why have they wised up to this? Because the bass in 2024 are not conditioned to a hellbender. They're not. They don't ever see this lure. They see jerk baits and A-rigs and swim baits all the time. And to say that they get conditioned to a hellbender is not true, because there has been generation after generation after generation of like bass here on my home lake of Table Rock Lake that have never even seen a hellbender, yet they won't bite it. That is because the bass have evolved and they've learned quick. They've developed some type of an instinctual, mechanism within them to say, this is not realistic. We know this is fake and we're not going to bite it. And you can see this with so many different other lures and lure genres out there. On the long term like that. Now on the short term, we all know how quickly they can get conditioned. Everybody that has been fishing over the past 15 years, if you got in on the Alabama rig craze or the whopper plopper craze, those are two of the prime examples. And even maybe some of the big glide baits when they first came out. When those lures first came out, what you could catch on them was phenomenal. But after about 2 years, the fish got off them. And you can still catch fish on them occasionally, but the level of productiveness from these lures have dropped, 80% from what they were when they first came out for the first 2 years. So bass wise up, they're smart, they learn quick, they understand stuff. They have an intelligence within inside of themselves that you can't measure from a human perspective. Because if you think about this for a second, it's like a bass they can be in 40 foot of water at midnight and they can find a minnow swimming in 40 foot of water. If you don't think that takes skill and adaptation, you're not thinking, because a bass could say, those humans are the most stupid people. Those humans are the most stupid species on the earth, because what other species would destroy their planet and pollute their planet and not know how to get a minnow in 40 foot of water in the dark? They can't even find a minnow in the dark, so you can't relate what we consider as human intelligence to bass's intelligence. Bass are masters of their environment. They are master apex predators within their environment, and that demands respect. So the next time that you try to make bass lesser in your mind and think that you're better than bass, you've got to humble yourself and realize that within their domain, and the domain that they have to operate within humans, they are freaking geniuses. And you got to respect that. That demands respect. And if you don't, you really haven't taken time to really think about it and analyze that situation. Because once we learn to respect other creatures on this planet, then we have less of a tendency to destroy those particular species. If you look about, all the species that have became extinct or became near extinct through, man's, ignorance to them, it was basically, out of disrespect. I mean, it's just like the millions and millions of buffalo that all the white men killed, try to starve the Native Americans out in the 1800s. It's just like that type of ignorance does not equate to the same type of behavior that we see in other parts of the animal kingdom. So anyway, the point of the video, guys, I just want to encourage everybody to get some respect for the fish. They deserve it. They've earned your respect. And think about what type of world we would have if we did not have any bass in it. And I can promise you, if you start changing your attitudes towards fish and show this admiration and appreciation and gratitude and respect for them being on this planet and sharing this planet like we are, your fishing experience and the entire energy within your fishing experience is going to dramatically increase. It'll be a lot more therapeutic and rewarding and healing and satisfying to you. So anyway, guys, just wanted to share that with you. Hope you guys are well. We'll talk later.